today is on vocabulary on trade. Everybody buys from sellers. When you go to the market to buy your pencil, your science book or textbooks, you are a buyer. The person that gives you those things you require, that you collect and pay the person, is the seller. There are people whose occupation is to go to the market, bring out their wares, sell, and then people pay them. We refer to them as traders. And we say that going to the market and coming back daily is business for them. Then for markets, we have sizes. And some of these markets hold according to the custom of the area where they exist. For instance, today is Eke. So throughout Igbo land, the market day that holds on Eke Day will be on. For instance, Ekeko is on, Ekekuloda is on, and I know if it's not for this COVID-19, Ekoka will also be holding. So these are what we mean by the markets now holding according to the custom. And you find out that such markets at times hold 4 days or 8 days in a week. For instance, the last Eke market was on Friday. So after 4 days, the next Eke now is today. So for us, this is the typical local market. Then we have people who say different, excuse me, who say different things in the market. Such things they sell are referred to as wares or goods. Then people who have small goods can display it along the street or on the road. For instance, you see people selling banana, groundnuts, and then even apple. They just stay under an umbrella and begin to sell whatever they want to sell. So we call such people petty traders because they don't have much to sell. Some of them sell perishable goods. What do we mean by perishable goods? The goods that if you are not careful with them, after 1 day they spoil. Typical example among them is bean balls. We know what bean balls are. They're normal akara. So you know that after 1 day, the next day the akara is a story. The same thing with vegetables. Granules and colonels can be preserved in certain ways that they last. Then, as I said earlier, this type of markets, those who sell these perishable goods stay daily. They sell today, tomorrow you come again, you see them still at their stand. Then, in some places like I've mentioned, the Eke market in Kwa and so on, we have a public square that is set apart for markets. So on that particular market day, people go to the market and then you buy whatever you want. Those who are selling will also be there to sell. In most cases, such markets, people live around and they know themselves. For instance, Momoke will come back to buy from a Mangozi. And then, hey, Mango, sell this thing to me now. How much are you selling it? By asking that question, they have gone into bargaining, a pricing. Because when you ask for the price, and then the seller gives you the price, you begin to make argument whether you want it or not. The price, what you are doing then at that moment is bargaining. Then, when you have now reached a compromise, the price that is acceptable to you, the buyer and the seller, you now buy. Because you know each other, or the sellers and the buyers know themselves, the price is less expensive, or we say it is no longer, it is not costly. Then, when we go to the market, you usually see people stay in an open place to sell yam, to sell potatoes, to sell different things. You find the person inside a building that is open. We call such buildings store. So people stay such places, or they call it their market stand. So every day he comes, sweeps the place, arranges his goods and sells them. Then big markets are often located in the townships. Some of you know these things. You are there in the market, you go to ShopRite, you go to Kingsway, you go to different big markets such supermarkets. Then still in big areas, apart from these supermarkets, you have these markets we talk about. Like in Enugu, you have Obwete. In Onitsha, you have the main market. So these ones now will contain a lot of things. You go there and buy. Then again, we have the departmental stores or the supermarkets. Something like ShopRite is the embodiment of departmental and supermarket, because anything you want, you can get it there. That is the beauty of supermarkets or departmental stores. Departmental stores arrange their goods according to departments. Maybe you come here, you find cosmetics. The next place you find shoes. The next place you find food items. That's how the supermarket arrange it. I mean, departmental stores arrange their goods. Then you have the lock-up and open stores, where shops where people now stay to sell their goods. I have talked about supermarkets. We also have warehouses and stores. The warehouses are whereby goods manufactured by the producer or the manufacturer are stored. Then from there, the goods are sold out. In the departmental stores, unlike the other one, the local markets where people go and bargain, you do not bargain in the departmental stores. You just go in with your trolley, pick up the things you want to buy with the price tag on them. You go to the cashier, who will now calculate the cost and tell you. You pay and go. So there's no need for you to say, are you not selling this one 1 naira? I want to buy this one 50 kobo. No, the price are labeled and fixed against the article. So once you collect them, you buy or you pay and then go. The one we are talking about, there are other group of sellers. The hawker, one that moves about from place to place. At least while you are moving on the street, you see people carrying groundnuts. Maybe they carry it on a tray on their head. Some will even be pushing the barrow with the groundnuts. These are examples of hawkers. They move about to sell their wares. You meet them, you stop them and buy from them. When we say that something is unlawful, it is not allowed. So government might decide to say that people who move about the streets to sell should not do that. They should do it only in the market. Then we have the manufacturers and producers. These are the people that have their factories where they produce shoes or produce things like shoes, textile materials and things like that. At the end of the day, somebody will go to buy a large quantity. That person that buys the large quantity is the wholesaler. The wholesaler now will sell in a smaller quantity to the retailer. The retailer now sells to the final consumer. So if you now come to them to buy maybe a piece of cloth, you are now the final consumer and you have bought that one. The same thing goes to the provision we use. These producers will produce something like large number of quantity of cabin biscuits. The sellers will now, the wholesaler will go and buy. The retailers will now go to them and buy it again. Then you who want one packet will now go there to buy one single packet. You are then the consumer. Again, some people might decide to sell these cabin biscuits and maybe milk and things like that. Then they can now go to these retailers again to buy a smaller quantity, which they have the money to buy and then sell it in the house. So I want you to understand what you do when it comes to buying and selling and where you buy things and who is who. So that when we use terms, we try to use them correctly. Thank you. We meet in another class.